God does not want worship in the same way that other gods are worshipped. He has a specific way he wants to be worshipped. And by celebration of Christmas, that is diametrically opposed to the way that God desires to be worshipped. The ritual of having a Christmas tree in your home has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. Santa Claus has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. Decorating your house with lights has absolutely nothing to do with Jesus Christ. What it does have to do with is paganism.
For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold.
So God has said that this custom is vanity, meaning it's insignificant, nothing to be done. Cutting a tree out of a forest, sound familiar, setting it up in your house, and then decorating it with silver and gold. What does that sound like?
Sound like Christmas to me.
Sounds just like Christmas, having a tree in your home and decorating it. God said that that custom is vain. You know?
They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
And you set it up in your house. Most people go buy the plastic Christmas tree and they have to set it up, they fasten it to the floor. In ancient times, they would actually have to nail it down in their homes, right? But now what that translates to is having a tree in your home, decorating it with silver and gold, talking about Saint Nick. Let's unpack this right quick, right? Saint Nicholas and the rituals of Christmas. You have cookies. It's a big thing to bake cookies and have milk and set it out for Saint Nick. This imaginary deity who knows that you've been good or bad the whole year, but has never seen you before until Christmas time. He breaks into your home at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, at the wee hours of the night, and then drops either coal or presents off in your house. And you leave out cookies and milk for this deity. That is a drink and a food offering.
Facts.
You're leaving a drink and a food offering out to a demon that comes to your house, right? We don't even realize, we don't even understand what we're doing in that ritual of leaving out food and drink for an ontological being who is 500 pounds, but somehow has a slave that can fly across the earth all in one night.
And fit in a chimney.
And fit in a chimney. A chimney is like a 4 by 8. And somehow he can narrow himself down to slide down the chimney, come into your home silently, and leave presents underneath the tree. And most people ain't even got a chimney, so how you get in the house? He breaking and entering. We don't even think about this kind of stuff. You have a big white man breaking and entering into all of our homes, and we blindly just leave out cookies and milk for him and say thanks. Knowing your mom and your daddy worked all year to get you those presents. But they're okay with that delusion.
Yeah.
They're okay with that. They're okay with letting you believe that a big white man who knows everything good and bad, that sounds like God. Isn't God the only one who knows if you've been good or bad all year? How does Santa know? He has other little minions that go around year round and watch your every single move. How? How does he do that? We got to unpack these things, but nobody's going to ask these questions. Somebody has to teach you this. And that's why we're here. Right, read on.
Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
You can rest right there. Now give me an Anonymous Compact Bible Dictionary. Right, I have a question for anybody out here who celebrates Christmas, right? And this is open dialogue. We want to have a conversation about this. I have $100 on Cash App right now for anybody who can pull a Bible scripture and show me Jesus Christ being born on December 25th, book, chapter, verse. $100 right now today. That's a challenge. Anybody who can show me Jesus Christ being born on December 25th, I have $100 for you right now.
I'll sell it to you right now, man.
Right now. So we got a brother out there with $200 for anybody who can show me Jesus Christ being born on December 25th.
We're taking all challenges.
Any challenges. Right, we want to talk about this because this is a problem. This is problematic. We don't understand that these things that we do are associated with idols that God hates. Right? Bring that out. This is Mithraism. I want to show y'all that what we do today has divine implications against us. God has to judge us for our sin. And Christmas, in the celebration of Christmas, is a sin. Right? I'm going to show you this, and then we're going to go into another thing, right? But this is Mithraism. Mithras was a Persian god, Right, and what we're about to read is very interesting about when this Persian god is celebrated. Read that.
This is out the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Definition of Mithraism: the cult of Mithras, a Persian sun god, the worship of which reached Rome.
Everybody listen closely. This is about a Persian cult and a Persian god that is being worshipped, right? You know?
The worship of which reached Rome in or about AD 69, based on the trials, sufferings, and exploits of Mithras. The cult appealed to soldiers. December 25th was the chief feast of Mithras.
Mithras, again, we ain't seen Jesus Christ or the God of the Bible once. Mithras is a Persian god who is celebrated on December 25th. What are we about to do on December 25th? Everybody's about to celebrate Christmas.
Bring it up.
But it's not in the Bible. But if you ask somebody why they celebrate Christmas, they're going to say the birth of Jesus Christ. But it's not in the Bible. It doesn't exist. But what I do see outside of the Bible is other idols being worshipped on December 25th. Wicked customs being kept on December 25th. Nothing associated with God or the Bible. Read on.
December 25th was the chief feast of Mithras, and in fixing on that date for Christmas, the early church sought to overlay both the Mithraic festival and the Saturnalia.
So Saturnalia, right? This is an academic source that we're reading out of, the definition of Mithraism. Mithraism, it started in Persia. It then translated to Christmas and Saturnalia. Saturnalia came first and then Christmas shortly after. Saturnalia was a day that the Romans celebrated their god Saturn. And this is the origin of Christmas. Again, I'm gonna put the wager out there again. I have $100 right now. If anybody can show me Jesus Christ being born on December 25th. I have $100 if you can show me Jesus Christ being born in the winter. Anybody. Read on.
The early church sought to overlay both the Mithraic festival and the Saturnalia. Christianity triumphed over Mithraism because of its written records of a historic Christ and its associated body of doctrine adapted for preaching.
Now, what this is saying is that pretty much Christianity in the 3rd and 4th century, they had power over the earth. They had power over the doctrine and what people believed and what they practiced. So pretty much at the time of Constantine and the, Council of Nicaea, they just said, hey, let's synchronize everything and let's bring all of the surrounding beliefs together and then let's put it all together and we'll just label it Christmas. And we got Jesus, we teach Jesus, so we're just gonna say it's Jesus' birthday and we're gonna do it that way. But it actually has absolutely nothing to do with Jesus Christ. It actually has the opposite to do. Jesus said to flee from idolatry. God hates idolatry. Give me Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. And I'm gonna show you that God hates idolatry. And what I just showed you is that the origin and the roots of Christmas is idolatry. It's idolatrous and it has nothing to do with the Bible.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have what?
No other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me.
And what makes God jealous? What makes God jealous is keeping customs that have to do with the worship of other gods. And what I just demonstrated is that Christmas, what everybody's about to do on December 25th, is a custom that has to do with the worship of another deity, not the God of the Bible. So what we have to do is, and we have to start to question the things that we're doing. At some point, we have to stop being simple. At some point, we have to ask, why am I doing this? And if I'm a Christian and a God-fearing man or woman, I should be striving my hardest to do what God requires of me. I should be diligently seeking the scriptures, the things that God wants me to do, what he's teaching me, what his morality is. And if I'm not doing that, I have to ask myself, am I a good Christian man or woman? Or am I just going with the flow? You have to ask yourself that. December 25th, everybody's been working a whole year. Let's look at it from an economic standpoint now. Let's kind of unpack it a little bit more. Black and Hispanic people go broke on Christmas. You work all year, save up money for Christmas Day to get your presents for your daughters, your sons, your nieces, your nephews, mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, right? And you go broke on a day that's making somebody else rich. And the person who is getting rich off of you is your mortal enemy. And this is something that black people have a hard time coming to grips with, is that we are making somebody else rich. And the things that we're making them rich with push us away from God. Christmas is one of those days. We work up all year and save money to give it right to the white man who doesn't give it back to us. We give him all our money that we worked all year for, save our taxes up, we work overtime, ask for triple overtime to get the present we want for our family, and God told us not to do that. And primarily, especially as being in the South. Go ahead, Doc.
Salakia, if you could, Aidan, on your phone, Google search how much money Black and Hispanic people spent on Christmas last year.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in that number to see how much money, by and large, Black and Hispanic people spend on Christmas. And I'm almost positive it's a ton of money Black and Hispanic people spend on Christmas. And again, we're in the South. This is a Bible Belt. Almost every Black and Hispanic person you ask their religious identity, they're going to identify as Christian. And when you ask them to show you Christmas in the Bible, they can't do it. So then I have to ask, why are we celebrating Christmas if it has nothing to do with Jesus Christ? If Jesus Christ was born in the spring, not the winter, we see that other gods are celebrated on December 25th and not Jesus Christ. Why are we celebrating Christmas? It has absolutely nothing to do with the Bible. You got that up? All right, give me Judges chapter 2. I believe I'm on verse 17.
Bring it out.
Yeah, give me Judges 2 and 17. Going back to the fact that we're married to the Most High God, let's teach a lesson, right? We're married to God. Actually, start in, give me Jeremiah, no, Judges 2 and 17. That's what, Judges 2 and 17. Let's teach.
Book of Judges, chapter 2, verse 17. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a whoring after other gods, and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so.
And this is the age that we're back in today. Everything is recycling. We're back in that time where our people are whoring after other gods away from our God. The gods that we serve in America are not the gods that our fathers worship. That's why I'm going into the history of Christmas to show you that that festival that y'all are about to keep is associated with another deity. And I want to point out something very interesting that I've noticed already since us being out here. Our message is specifically for Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. And that's what we've seen come in here, look at us, and then drive off. There was a white woman right here at pump number 9 who looked at us and cheered us on for the message that we're teaching today. That is a witness against you. When Judgment Day comes, that is going to be a witness against every Black and Hispanic person out here. Is that woman's faith is bigger than yours. Give me Matthew 15. I'm going to segue just a little bit. This is something that we see all too often, and it's problematic, is that when you see Black men out here teaching other Black people, they reject the message. But people who are not our people, they love it. They love it. We're talking about Christmas and the origin of it, and a white woman loves it, but Black people walk to and fro and don't care. They don't even want to inquire about what we're talking about. Right? And we see this example in the Bible, and this is the witness against you today. Matthew 15, and start at verse 22.
Book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 22. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast, and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil.
So again, what we're about to read is Christ telling you his message is exclusively what our message is. But this is a heathen woman who is coming unto him with abundant faith. And she doesn't care about her position. All she wants is the blessing from God. You know?
But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
This is red letter. So Christ's mission was to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, not for the Canaanites or any other nation of people, right? But this woman still had enough faith to see even the dogs eat from the crumbs that fall off the table, you know?
Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. And Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour.
And this is how a lot of Black and Hispanic people are going to be cut off in the land of the living, right? And you're going to see other heathen cleaving to the men of the Lord. It's because they're going to have more faith than you. Because we stand as an ensign and a token against your lifestyle. She stood at that pump and waited. She was done pumping her gas and listened to us teaching and drove around and big upped us. But Black and Hispanic people, they just going about to and fro as their day proceeds. You see men up here teaching the Bible and nobody cares to ask what you're teaching or why you're teaching it. You understand? Hey, young king, what's your name, bro? What's up, Brody? How you doing? You got a second? I know you ain't busy. You chilling? Come here for a second real quick. Come here right quick, bro. I know you ain't finna go in there and you ain't got nothing to do. We're chilling today. I got a question for you. You celebrate Christmas? Why do you celebrate Christmas? It's okay, I ain't putting you on the spot. You just tell me whatever you feel. Ain't no right or wrong answer. You don't really know? I'm gonna show you something, King. Did you know that Christmas has nothing to do with Christianity or Jesus Christ? So why you celebrate? Do you identify as a Christian? You believe in God? So if you believe in God, that means we got to do what God tells us to do, right? If you believe in God, that means we got to do what God tells us to do, right? Okay. So in modern times, we learned that Christmas is the celebration of Jesus Christ's birthday. That's not the case. Jesus Christ wasn't born in the winter. I'm gonna show you something. Give me Jeremiah 10 again. I'm gonna show you something. God tells us not to celebrate Christmas. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? So you're a man. All right. So you have the opportunity to make your own decisions now. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show you in the Bible what God requires from us. This is Jeremiah chapter 10. Read that.
Jeremiah 10, verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold.
When you have a Christmas tree, you decorate it, right? You put ornaments on it, you put silver, gold ornaments on it. You may have some neat, rinky-dink ornaments you may put on the thing. This is a heathen custom that has to do with idolatry. Idolatry is the worship of another god. Just in case you didn't know what idolatry was. Idolatry is worshiping another deity, right? And God tells us not to do that. Give me Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3, and I'm going to show you this real quick.
Keep reading that though.
Yeah, finish this.
They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
And when you put the tree in there, you make sure it don't move. You put it right in the living room, make sure it don't go nowhere, and you put it up and you decorate that tree. God told us not to do that. Give me verse 1, Jeremiah 10:1.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
This is an express commandment not to do as the heathen do. So the question is, if we're not supposed to celebrate Christmas, what we celebrate? Hanukkah, right? Hanukkah is the feast of dedication on the festival of lights. And that's what we celebrate in this season. But I'm going to show you this real quick. Exodus 20 and 3.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation.
So serving other gods is keeping their festivals. So one of the ways that we serve other gods unknowingly, right, ignorantly, is by keeping their feasts. And one of those festivals is Christmas. So now that you learn, you love God, you worship God, you believe in God, God told us not to celebrate Christmas. So now we got to start asking the question, well, what do we celebrate? And that's what I was telling you, we celebrate Hanukkah, and that's what God told us to do. Can a brother give me 1 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 56, real quick? I'm gonna show you real quick what holiday we're supposed to be keeping in this season, right now, outside of that, right? 1 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 56.
1 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold, and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hang doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away. Moreover, Judas and his brethren, with the whole congregation of Israel, ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar to be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days.
So that's what feast day we're celebrating now. It's called the Feast of Dedication, right? So Hanukkah is a Hebrew word for dedication, right? So Hanukkah is the Hebrew word. Dedication is the English translation for that word Hanukkah, right? And that is a space of an 8-day feast in which we recognize and memorialize our fathers overcoming our enemies, right? Did you know that Blacks, Hispanic, and Native American Indians are Israelites? Have you ever heard of an Israelite before? Ever heard of an Israelite before? I got a question for you. How did black people get to America? Do you know? You remember in school how they taught you how black people got here? A boat, right? What kind of boat?
Slave boat, right?
It's a slave boat. You know what I'm saying? It's a slave ship that transported us from the western coast of Africa to America, right? Did you know that the Bible actually says that's going to happen to the Israelites for disobedience? If not, I can show you. I'm going to show you out of the Bible plainly that it demonstrates black people being transported to this land by slave boat. Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Look at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So Egypt, are you familiar with the story of Moses letting my people go, freeing the slaves out of Egypt? You heard that story before? Right? So Egypt is not only a physical place on a map. Egypt is also symbolic of a living condition, right? So Egypt is associated with slavery. So when you hear people talk about being in Egypt, that's also basically saying, I'm in slavery, I'm in captivity, I'm being oppressed, right? Give me Exodus 20 and verse 2. I'm gonna show you that real quick and we're gonna come back here. Exodus 20 and 2.
Book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right, so Egypt is also known as the house of bondage. So the Egypt that's being talked about in Deuteronomy 28 and 68 is not necessarily the physical geographical location on a map, but it's talking about a living condition that we will be transported into. Right, you following me? All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 68 from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So God is saying, because of disobedience, I'm going to put you on a slave boat, and I'm going to put you into captivity. I'm going to send you into slavery. You understand? Because we did not listen to his words. And I'm going to show you that right after this. You know?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So let me ask you this. Who were the people that came and got us from West Africa? White people, right? Who was we sold into when we got to America? White people, right? The Bible says that the people that I'm going to sell you to as bondwomen and bondmen, that's just the early English word for a slave. So I'm going to sell you as a slave to your enemy. So if God is prophesying the transatlantic slave trade, black people coming from West Africa to America and being sold into our enemies, who would that make our enemies today? White people. You're getting it. Read on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Now what that means, no man shall buy you, it means that no man will be able to redeem you from your captivity. And I'll give you an example of this. You may not know who this man is, but I adjure you to go look him up. Marcus Mosiah Garvey, right? In the early 1900s, Marcus Garvey tried to set up a Western African Union so that black people could leave America and set up shop back in West Africa. That didn't work. Right? Because there is a spiritual judgment that's happening to black and Hispanic people here in America that we cannot of our own selves get out of. So we can't free ourselves from here. God has to do it.
That's right.
Malcolm X? You heard of Malcolm X? Malcolm X tried to do the same thing. When he went over to do his Hajj after he left the Nation of Islam, he was over there setting up relationships with the Western African nations as well. He was trying to do the same. He was trying to pick up on Marcus Garvey's work. But guess what? It didn't work. He ended up getting killed. You know why? Because God said no man is going to be able to redeem you. Only I will be able to do it when we come back to him by keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. Which leads me to the point I just told you. The reason this happened to us is because of disobedience. We didn't listen to what God told us to do. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the reason that black and Hispanic people had to be transported on slave ships is because one simple thing: we didn't listen to the law, statutes, and commandments of God. If we listened to the law, statutes, and commandments of God, we would have never went into slavery. So with that understanding now, we got to ask ourselves one question: what's the law, statutes, and commandments? What does God require for me to do so that I can get out of here? Where we at right now? Is this, like, when you look around right now, is this beautiful? Is there any skyscrapers here where we at right now? You don't see no Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis riding through here. Why? Because this is a black neighborhood. Black people are at the bottom of society. You know the Bible shows that in Deuteronomy 28 as well. The reason this looks like this is because we disobey God. When you look around, you don't see, you got abandoned buildings here. You got an abandoned building here, paint chipping off. If you go down to the columns in Jackson, it's beautiful over there, right? Why? It ain't number white folks. Let's just be real, right? And the reason for that is because we disobey God. Read Deuteronomy 28 and verse 16.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
And that looks like this. We're cursed. There ain't no affluent money just flowing through this hood. Where we at in Jackson right now, it ain't just money out here, right? You don't see no high risers, you don't see law firms, you don't see high-end restaurants out here. You got a Dodge's fried chicken right here. You see what I'm saying? It ain't no money out here. The reason is because we didn't listen to God. You understand what I'm saying? And this is how we know and can identify that we are the Israelites.
So look, I want to test them. What's your name, King? Brother AJ. I want to make sure you follow them, right? So the conditions that we in right now is because of what? Disobedience, right? All right, so one of the things that he said, I don't know if you followed, that we're not supposed to be doing is celebrating Christmas. 90% of our people are about to celebrate Christmas, right? So what AJ gonna do? Now that he know.
Now, hey, like I said, you 18, you a grown man. So now you can make your own decisions. Mommy and daddy don't make the decisions for you no more, AJ. So you got to make a decision for God.
You gonna listen to God or you gonna listen to man?
That's why we give you, exactly. That's why we give you this.
Clap it up for the brother, man. If he gonna listen to God, man, he got to get with us, man. Get his information, man.
Yeah, let me get your phone number, AJ, and take one of these. We have class on Saturdays, and we always out here every single weekend, AJ. We want to see you out here, even if you just come and listen. You ain't got to sit up here with us. We just want you to come out here and listen like you're doing today, and we appreciate you for listening today. I don't know if you know, but I'll go ahead and tell you, you just got $1 million ticket, brother.
That's
the
right.
information we're giving you right now is worth no amount of money. This information we're giving you right now is held in secrecy. Can you give me Psalms 83 real quick? I'm gonna show you one more thing, AJ. Right, I'm gonna show you one more thing. The information we're giving you right now is not supposed to be given to you. It was supposed to be hidden, right? Psalms 83 and verse 1.
Psalm chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden one.
Right, so before we got here, and while we're here, there are councils, there's groups of people that are set up, rich people, who try to suppress this information from coming out. Why? Because if you learn that you're a child of God, not only are you a child of God, you're a chosen child of God, and you start to live according to how God intended you to, that means that their money, their wealth, their economic power goes to zero and we get it. You understand the power in that? I just gave it an example. When you look around here, you don't see no money around here. When you go to the colonies, you see all the money. Imagine black neighborhoods looking like that and their neighborhoods looking like this. That's how it's intended to be. But the reason it's not that way is because we are in disobedience to God, and he cannot act for us when we're in disobedience to him. We're pretty much God's op right now because of the way that we live. But the beautiful thing about this is that we can change that. We have power to change that. That's what we're trying to get you to understand today. If you change the way you act, you're going to be blessed. And I don't mean blessed like how your Christian pastor may have tried to tell you you're going to be blessed and God going to give you the... No, I mean literally. Your life will get better. You will see the fruits.
Immediate
of
perks.
serving God. Literally. But continue on this. Psalms 83.
Verse 4, they have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So, again, like I said, us telling you that you're an Israelite and showing you how you're an Israelite and how the Bible identifies you is something that the elites, you ever heard of the elites? You ever heard that term? So elites are pretty much the richest people on earth, right? They all have
Illuminati.
Yeah, Illuminati. You know about the Illuminati. Those type people, right? They have meetings to make sure and try to put things in place so that we can teach this to you. So that's why I said you're getting something right now that no amount of money can buy you, right? And it's all spiritual. That's why we're giving it to you for free. We don't have an offering plate out here asking you for money because what we teach you. Because we got it for free. You understand? Right? So I'm gonna give you a couple of commandments, right? Because we've been talking about disobedience. Now we got to learn how to be obedient to God. You like seafood boils? You like pork chops? You like bacon? So, did you know that God said that we can't eat that? I'm gonna show you. Give me Leviticus 11. I'm gonna show you this real quick, AJ. Right? God gave us a dietary law. He gave us foods that we can eat, and He gave us foods that we cannot eat. And it's a reason for that. Because we're supposed to be a holy people. Holy means set apart, not like everybody else. Right? So God gave us dietary restrictions so that we can be more pure than everyone else. Now I'm going to get to that. Give me Leviticus 11 and 7. You give me Leviticus 11 and 9.
Leviticus 11, verse 7. And the swine.
You know what swine is? Swine is another word for pork, pig.
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
So pig is unclean. Do you know that pigs do not possess pores? You know, we have pores, like pores in our face. The reason we have pores is to allow sweat to happen. Sweat is a mechanism of the body to detoxify the body, right? Pigs aren't able to detox. You know what pigs eat? Each other.
Everything.
They eat scraps, they eat each other, they eat whatever is put in front of them. So imagine you eating some bacon in a pork chop, and that pig, before it died and became your pork chop, ate another pig that was just as nasty as it. You're putting it in your body. You see how that's a problem? That's gonna make you sick. That's why black people are obese. This is why we have high blood pressure. This is why we suffer from gout, swelling, excessive inflammation in our bodies. One is linked to our diet, right? This is why we're kind of crazy, because we're putting crazy animals in our body. What you are, what you eat. You ever heard that before? You are what you eat. You are what you eat. You're going to act like an animal if you eat animals that are animalistic. You understand what I'm saying? Now give me Leviticus 11 and 9.
Verse 9, these shall ye eat of all that are in the water, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Now let me ask you this, do shrimp have fins and scales? Nah, shrimp, they don't have fins, but they have a shell. Yeah, they have a shell. They're known as crustaceans. So shrimp, crab, lobster, clams,
Crawfish.
They have shells. They don't have fins and scales. And did you know one cool fact about these animals is that they're bottom feeders? You know what it means to be a bottom feeder? I mean, they clean the ocean floor. They're basically the ocean's vacuum cleaners. Would you open up your vacuum cleaner and eat the dust? That's what you do when you're eating shrimp, crab, and lobster.
You might as well do it if you're going to eat shrimp.
Might as well. And also, did you know that shrimp and roaches are related? A roach is a land shrimp. Would you eat a roach? You'll cook it up, put salt, pepper, garlic in there, make some roach scampi. You won't eat that, right? That's what a shrimp is. And God gave us these laws to purify us. So He gave us foods that we can eat. Give me Deuteronomy 14. Deuteronomy 14 and verse 3. I'm going to show you the animals that we can eat, that God gives us to eat. And I'm sure you eat these too. You like burgers? Like burgers? You like burgers? Like chicken? That's a clean animal for you to eat. Deuteronomy 14 verse.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 4. These are the beasts which ye shall eat, the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the pigger, and the wild ox, and the chamois, and every beast that parteth the hoof, and cleaveth the cleft into two claws.
So essentially, translation, the animals that we can eat, cow, which is beef. You can eat ox, right? You can have bison. I don't know if you ever had bison. Most likely you never had bison. It's really good.
Deer.
Type of cow. You can have deer.
Lamb,
You
goat.
can have lamb. You can have goat. You can have fried chicken, which is all black folks eat chicken, right? You can have fried chicken. But what's important is the things that we cannot eat. We cannot eat pork. So God said we can't eat pork. God said we can't have crustaceans, shrimp, crab, lobster, clams, oysters, crawfish. These things, catfish. Did you know that catfish don't have scales? You eat catfish? Yeah. Most black people will say they eat
All black
catfish.
people love
Yeah,
catfish,
all black
right?
people love catfish. Catfish don't have scales. They have fins, but they don't have scales. So they don't meet the criteria of what God said is a clean fish animal. Fish animals have to have fins and scales. Hey, how you doing, brother? What's up, King? So, AJ, what you gotta do? You gotta eat different, right? So now that you know that God only allows certain foods, you know what you can't eat. So when you go out to eat, you can't get pork chops, can't have bacon, can't have seafood boils, can't have shrimp, crab, and lobster, right? But what you can have burgers, you can have beef, you can have chicken, you can have beef bacon, turkey. You eat turkey? Turkey burgers though? You can eat these things, but you can't have pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. That's one law, right? You know what these are?
The overwater the plant. The overwater. Don't give them too much, man. We don't want to scare them away, man.
So look, these are also a law. The reason we wear these is because they in here as well, right? This is called a fringe. And what these are a physical representation of keeping the law. So when we look down and look at these, this reminds us not to eat pork, not to eat shrimp, crab, or lobster. That's why we wear these. This is not just a fashion statement. It's literally a law that keeps us in the remembrance of God. See what I'm saying? And it can be flawed. It is flawed. See what I'm saying? But that's a law that's in there as well. Let me ask you this. Do you love black people? You love black people? Yeah. Go to Leviticus 19. I'm going to show you some more laws. Something you can teach your homeboys if they don't know. You understand? I'm going to show you some more laws that God told us that we have to do as well. In Leviticus 19, and start at verse 16.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people.
You know what a talebearer is? Somebody who carries stories that are not true. So it's basically like backbiting, like you make up a story about somebody and you go and tell other people, hey, he hit this girl. Well, he actually did.
Gossiping.
He spread it about. Being a gossiper, that's what a talebearer is. And we see that a lot in our community, mostly among women. Mostly black men don't really gossip like that, but some do. But this is something that God said that we cannot do, is be a gossiper, you know?
Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord.
I'll explain what this means. If you see another black individual in danger, what do we do now when we see black people fighting, or they getting beat up by the police, or they get into an altercation? What do? What's the first thing we do?
Pull out our camera.
We do this, right? That's wicked. God said you're supposed to intervene and make peace in that situation. You can't stand against the blood of thy neighbor. If one of your nation is in trouble of being harmed, it's your responsibility to make sure that doesn't happen. You understand what I'm saying? Now imagine if all black people acted like that for each other. Because right now, what black people do when another black person in trouble? Pull that phone out, right? And just let it happen. Whatever happened, happened. But I got it. I'm gonna post the world star and I'm gonna go viral, right? God said, that's wicked. That's a sin. You can't do that. You have to intervene in that situation to make sure that it gets de-escalated to the best of your ability. You understand what I'm saying? You know?
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Also, how many black people you know who hate other black people? A lot, right? What is gangbanging essentially? Hatred. Black people hating other black people. That's gangbanging. Black people predominantly gangbang. Why? God said that's wicked. Imagine if all of the gangs had a peace treaty today and said that we're going to unify with one another against our actual enemy. I'm gonna test you. Who's your enemy?
According to
White
God.
people. Remember, we read that how we got here was by what? A slave ship, right? And the people that we would be sold to was going to be our enemies. And you told me who we got sold to was who? So that would be your enemy. So imagine if all black people unified together against our common enemy. What would that do for our community? We would have safer communities. Our children would be able to come out and play. Our community surely wouldn't look like this. All of this littering around here will actually care about our community and how it looks, right? We would have a completely rearranged community that would be affluent. Then we would have money in our community. You understand what I'm saying? But this is in the way of that because we are in sin by hating our own brothers. Hold on.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So what this means is, AJ, when you see your friend doing something that he's not supposed to do, you're supposed to tell him it's wrong. You understand? You're not supposed to let him go and do what you know is wrong. You're supposed to say, hey, bro, that's not right. Stay home. Don't do that. That's not the right decision to make. That's what God requires of our people. What do we normally do? If your brother finna go crash out, what you gonna do? All right, bro, I'm with you. I'm riding with you, though. If you finna crash, I'm crashing too. We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to tell our brother, hey, you need to calm down, simmer down. That's not a good decision, and it's only going to hurt you and or somebody else. So it's your responsibility to tell that brother, hey, this ain't the right decision to make. Let's not do that. You understand what I'm telling you? So with that being said, AJ, let's do a little recap, right? We learned today that the Israelites are who? Black folks. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And how do we know that, AJ? The Bible. It teaches us that those people would be sold into slavery by slave ship to white people. Plain, right? This is how we know that we are the people. Another way that we know that we are the people is by our living conditions. We're at the bottom of society, right? I gave you the dichotomy. Look at this community and then go to the columns and look at that community. And
Big
who
difference.
live in each one? White people live in the columns, black people live in the ghetto. The ghetto looks the same no matter where you go, right? The reason for that is disobedience. Then we learned, AJ, how to be obedient. So what foods can you not eat, AJ? What kind of seafood? Bingo. What else? Pork. Man, clap it up for the brother. Clap it up for AJ, man. Clap it up for AJ. Right? So we can't eat pork, and we can't eat shellfish. Right? We can't eat fish that don't have fins and scales. So the fish that you eat, you gotta look at it and say, hey, even if you don't know what it is, hey, does this fish have fins and scales? Even if you do eat fish like tilapia or a salmon or whatever you eat, making sure it's got fins and scales as well. You got me? All right, man. It was a pleasure.
Hey, clap it up for my brother AJ, man. Standing and listening, man, to the spirit, man.
Keep that on you. And like I said, we be out here in the same spot every week, bro.
And tap in with us. We're gonna hit your line, bro. Answer. You know what I mean?
We have closed and Saturday service as well, all of them, right? And the reason that we're out here is to make this situation better. You understand what I'm saying? We actually care about our people. That's why we don't have a collection plate out here asking you for a couple dollars for our preaching. You get me? We out here for free because we love our people and we want to see our people together. It hurts us to see our people in this condition. It hurts us to know that our people don't have the knowledge that we have, and that's why we lay our lives down and come out here and teach our people. You learned some things today, right? Everybody don't know this. So it's our job as people who know it to give it back.
That's right.
And that's why we out here. We out here to give back to our community, sincerely. We actually care about our people. We care about how we think and the way that we behave. Because we want our children to grow up in a better situation than we came up in. You understand what I'm saying? I'll leave you with that, King. It was a pleasure to meet you, my brother. I know you gotta go to the stove. Hey, you don't have to leave. We're gonna keep teaching. You ain't gotta go. You can sit right here and chill as long as you want to, but that's sincerely why we out here is to teach our people, so that we can have a better community. This Bible for so long has been misused that now our people are opposed to it because it's being used for money. God never intended the Bible to be used for money. The Bible can be used to literally make immediate change in our community today. The things that I taught you today, the way that we think, If we make a mindset change today, our whole community could change today. It would be a whole revolution today if we had this knowledge and we applied this knowledge. It will make us better individuals, make us better brothers, it'll make us better sons, it'll make us better fathers. And that's what we want. We want better individuals within our community.
Bro?
We don't want to keep going on the track that we've been going in and being destructive, like the NBA young boys of the world. Right? What does NBA young boy talk about all in his music?
Murder.
Murder, sex, drugs. Right? That's destructive for the Black and Hispanic community. If we only thinking about murder, sex, and drugs, what are we gonna do? We're gonna murder, we're gonna be sexually exploited, and we're gonna be high. And that's what Black people do. All we think about is having sex, murdering our brothers and sisters. And you know what's funny about that? We don't ever think about murdering nobody.
That's what I was about to say. We don't never kill nothing else. We always kill each other.
And that's what we're trying to change. We want Black people to think differently. We don't want us to look at each other as enemies. I look at you as a brother, I would lay my life down for you. All Black people don't think that way though, but that's what we want to change. We want you to see another Black man and another Black man see you, and you say, hey, what's up, bro? And you know if anything go down that y'all got each other. And that may be a complete stranger. You're a complete stranger. I don't know you from Adam and Eve. But because of this Bible, I will lay my life down for you if you were in danger. You understand? And that's what we're trying to change in our community, seriously. We want to make serious change in this community because it's necessary. We don't want to see Black people going in and buying Black and Miles and backwoods and filling their bodies up with toxins, right? We don't want Black people going in here trying to drink the pain away and getting 40 ounces and fifths of Hennessy and all this nonsense to take away the pain. We got the pain reliever right here in the Bible.
That's right.
We don't need liquor. We don't need marijuana, right? We don't need pills. We don't need sex from multiple women. We don't need that to heal us. God said we already got the healing. You understand what I'm telling you, AJ? So that's why we are here, man. That's why you see us up here right now. We're not doing this for glory. We're not doing this just to be out here and be seen. We have a mission out here to change our community and change our people. So if you don't remember anything else, remember those brothers out there in that corner. They're out there for community revolution. We are here to seriously make a change in our community. And we believe that the Bible is the catalyst and the foundation for that change. Yeah. So, back to Christmas, right? Real quick. I know I got you engaged now. Christmas. How long you been celebrating Christmas, AJ? Your whole life? Your family celebrate Christmas too? Check this out, AJ. Have you ever thought about Santa Claus and how a big fat white guy travels at night and stuffs himself through a chimney into your home and leaves presents underneath your tree? How does that make sense? It don't make sense, do it? But we don't think to ask, why are you okay with a big white man coming in our home at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, leaving Christmas presents underneath our tree? How did he even get in here? A chimney is this big. Santa Claus is 500-600 pounds. How he traveled down the chimney to get in there? And then look at it this way. I grew up baking cookies and leaving milk out for Santa. That's how I grew up, right? Everybody don't do that, but I did. And I know a lot of other families that had that same tradition of baking cookies the night before, leaving out milk and cookies for Santa Claus. Did you know that that's actually a drink offering and a meat offering for a god? That's how people do that? And worshiping other gods? You'll leave food and drink out for them.